followers of the legendary Johnny Genesis North, we are releasing a must-have collection of Johnny North merchandise in our store at merch.ringsidereport.net, starting with our limited edition Johnny Genesis North 3/4 sleeve t-shirt. With a unique design capturing Johnny in action, this tee exudes raw energy and intensity through its versatile 3/4 sleeves for any weather. Stand with our legendary co-host, Johnny North. Make a bold statement in the wrestling community by getting yours today, exclusively at merch.ringsidereport.net.
The discipline of jiu-jitsu, the elegance of a perfect pour. Introducing the jiu-jitsu-inspired shaker pint glass. Crafted for the martial artist in you. 16 ounces of pure elegance, perfect for post-training refreshment or a sophisticated cocktail evening. Durable, stylish, versatile. Not just a glass, but a testament to your dedication. Celebrate your passion with every sip. The Jiu-Jitsu Shaker Pint Glass. Cheers to mastery. Available now in our store. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net and get yours now.
Strength in every sip.
Here's a programming note from the Ringside Report Network. Every Friday, join Dave Simon along with pro wrestler Johnny Genesis North as they break down the week that was pro wrestling on Wrestling Uncensored. Join them live starting after WWE Smackdown and during AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, or as an audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to share this broadcast and review our podcasts on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. Why not become a member of the Ringside Report universe? Go right now before the show starts to membership.ringsidereport.net. That's membership.ringsidereport.net.
Each and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, dive deep into the heart of MMA with Ringside Report MMA. Join seasoned analysts Dave Simon, Fred Garcia, and my good friend AJ D'Alexio as they dissect every fight, analyze strategies, and reveal their top betting predictions. From main events to prelims, our trio deep dives into the strengths, weaknesses, and potential game changers for each fighter. Looking to place a bet? Benefit from the expertise of our analysts and get an edge over the competition. Discover lesser-known facts, training camp secrets, and behind-the-scenes tidbits that only our seasoned crew can deliver. Share your fight predictions and be featured in the broadcast. For both new fans and longtime MMA aficionados, Ringside Report MMA is the key to unlocking a richer UFC viewing experience. Become an MMA insider. Don't miss out on our exclusive content. Subscribe now and ensure you ring that bell for timely notifications.
Before we dive into today's action-packed broadcast, check out ringsidereport.net. Explore a wide range of exclusive articles and commentary that are specifically designed for the fans of pro wrestling and MMA. Did you miss a broadcast? No worries. We've expanded them all on our website. And don't forget to hit our store for exclusive merch and other must-have items, ringsidereport.net. Where the real action is.
We've got boosted odds coming. Dave's picks, which means I'm going to give you picks, and on the site, it'll say, like, minus 200 or something, but then I'll call my buddies at Bet99. I'll be like, hey, can we give it a little better? And it'll be like minus 150, so there'll be more value.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to add value to the picks. We're going to get boosted odds at Bet99 for the Ringside Report universe. For all the viewers, we're going to give you picks, and then we're going to be like, there's a number here on this at Bet99, but maybe wait till Saturday morning, and there'll be a better number because we're going to give you those boosted odds. They're a sponsor, and I want them to do well, and they're helping the show and all of that, but at the same time, I want to give good picks and take them for everything they got, baby. But they got.
Well, that's what it comes down to.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
it's a weird relationship because I'm friendly with them and I want to do well and I want them to do well, but I also want us to do well, and for us to do well, we need to take money from them, which is part of the whole. It's part of the game, and they like it, and it's all fun. So we're gonna get some boosted odds, and we'll see how much we can boost them for the viewers, so we can make a lot of cash. It's Wrestling Uncensored time. We are previewing WWE's Elimination Chamber and more. Yep, indeed. We're here. It's early. John? It's early. Hi, John.
What's up, Dave? How's it going?
I'm good. Can't hear you. I can kind of hear you. Talk to me.
Can you hear me at all here?
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah.
Okay,
I wasn't hearing you at first. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're good. We got a big show here tonight. We are previewing WWE's Elimination Chamber. Of course, the Chamber going down tomorrow, right? We got the Chamber tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Time. 5 a.m. So we're here early to break it down for you so that you may watch our show comfortably and then wake up comfortably tomorrow morning, watch the Chamber, and then watch us afterwards. We'll be live here for the WWE Elimination Chamber post-show at 12:30. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll give you some time to wake up. You don't have to watch the Chamber at 5 a.m. to catch our post-show. We're going to give you some buffer time to, wake up, enjoy yourself, and watch the Elimination Chamber and then join us. Or don't watch the Elimination Chamber and then join us either way at 12:30 tomorrow so we can recap the action, give you the match of the show, score on 10 for the event, as it is the final WWE Premium Live event before WrestleMania, the granddaddy of them all. The biggest show of the year for professional wrestling, WrestleMania, coming up here after the Elimination Chamber. And John, we're going to preview the Chamber. We're also going to talk about AEW Dynamite and everything going on in AEW world. They've got their big pay-per-view coming up next week. Next week, right? Next Sunday. Good God Almighty. I'm still not hearing John that well. Talk to me, Johnny. Let me tell you something, Johnny. Let me talk to you.
Okay, Mr. LA.
Yeah, there
Talk
you go.
To me, LA.
Yeah, I'm hearing Johnny better now. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my headphones. I don't know. We have this Chamber show, right, coming up tomorrow. And, we talked about it before, but it just doesn't feel like a big show leading us into WrestleMania. It doesn't feel like a big deal event to get me hyped for Mania. What is your hype level on 10 for Elimination Chamber? Compared to your hype level on 10 for, say, AEW's Revolution next week?
I mean, it's a completely different kind of situation because Revolution is pretty much based off of this is going to be Sting's last match ever. And there's a lot of emotion going into that just based off the fact that you're not going to get to see Sting ever again in a ring. End of an era here. Huge era. I don't know about you, I can't remember a time when I haven't seen Sting wrestle. So totally different compared to what Elimination Chamber will be, where it's over 50,000 in Australia. That's a unique event. It's special, but totally different kind of feel. And it won't have the same kind of emotion. But not to say that both aren't good or bad, just different.
Yeah. But what are you more excited about?
Thanks.
I mean, I'm excited for the men's Elimination Chamber. I think there's a lot of interesting players in that one. And I think they could pull off some great moments in that match. But also, I'm very much looking forward to Sting's match because that's probably going to be an incredible match, given who's involved in that match, given what we saw in Dynamite this week, how much more interesting the match is now because of what happened on Dynamite. I mean, those are the two selling factors for me for both events.
Mm-hmm.
I'm equally excited, but different ways.
You didn't give me a real answer, though.
I'm giving the fact that I'm interested in both shows. I would say maybe more so Revolution because that's the end of Sting. But, if you want me to slide, yes, it's more of that just because that's special. Where this, it's like, I'm expecting good things.
Dude, AEW, at least next weekend for their pay-per-view, they've got their world title on the line in a match where the title could possibly change hands. WWE's got a show this weekend. They don't even have their world title on the line, and they've got 2 world champions.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree that the whole card could be better, but what we have is still not bad in terms of the matches. I still think the chamber matches were very good.
Angelo Contagonis in the chat, he says, as Dave said, it's just a glorified house show. Douglas Hepburn says, Elimination Chamber will be fun to watch, but it's a typical crown jewel type thing. I agree with Doug and Angelo, as usual. Shout out to the members in the chat, Doug and Angelo, CSL Lorne, CSL RC Lorne. I didn't realize he added the RC. Okay. Shout out to all the members over at join.ringsidereport.net, join.ringsidereport.net. Thank you for supporting the channel. But yeah, this feels like kind of a house show, kind of not that big of a deal, not a lot of stakes, not a lot on the line, not a lot up for grabs, not a lot that you're wondering about. Let's start with the match that I think will be the main event, although you never know. But I'm assuming that the men's chamber will be the main event. You got a lot of top talent in there.
Bet.
Yeah, a lot of talent. Yeah. It's the most expensive match on the card as far as what the WWE is paying these guys to wrestle for them on a day-to-day basis, right? You got to figure?
Some of the top-tier talent right there in that match.
Drew, Randy, Bobby, L.A., KO, and Logan Paul. That's top-tier talent. It's a lot of money.
That's the problem with these kind of shows, too. Like, I feel like with Montreal, they made it better for us because that was a mid-card kind of match they had for the chamber for the men's. So they were able to put the big-time players in other matches. So it wasn't all clunked into one, where they just kind of clunked them all into one.
Well, Chamber last year felt like there was something on the line. You had the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, against Sami Zayn, and the bloodline was exploding, and Sami was wrestling Roman in his hometown. I mean, that was a big match. Some people were pushing for Sami to win and do some sort of triple threat with Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. I mean, you remember leading into the Chamber last year, John, there were people, sound-minded wrestling people that thought Sami should have won. Wasn't Meltzer saying Sami should have won or somebody like that? I don't know if it was Meltzer exactly. It might have been Brian Alvarez. One of those guys was like, Sami should have won. They should have put it on Sami. He's so hot right now. I mean, he was very hot, right? He was very, very over at the time, very popular. And people were pushing for Sami to win. So that match, going into Elimination Chamber, that match had buzz, especially if you were in the building at the Bell Center. There was major buzz for the Roman Reigns-Sami Zayn match. And I don't feel like there's a match on this card that has that type of build, that type of story, that type of main event player. They haven't hit it the same way that they hit Chamber last year, leading into Mania as far as the grand scheme of the WWE and WrestleMania and the stories and everything and what's happening. I think it's a big event as far as doing a cool show in Australia and packing a lot of people into a stadium and making money and pleasing the Australian fans, and they're starved for it and they're getting all the merch and they're making money off this. But as far as what this means from a critical standpoint, it doesn't mean much. Yeah, Brock Lesnar, there you go, Matthew Henley. Brock Lesnar was on the show last year. Brock Lesnar probably would have been on the show this year had he not been involved in the whole Vince McMahon thing that I don't want to get too into right now, of course, because I know Matthew Henley is one of our younger viewers, and it's 7 o'clock at night right now, so too early for the Vince talk, He brought Brock up, though, and that's why Brock's not around. He would be at the Chamber, I think. He would have had a match here. Right? Wasn't he supposed to?
Original idea. It was Dominic, right?
Oh,
That
Domino
was the original
Mysterio. We don't need that. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind skipping
idea.
that,
I don't
right?
disagree.
Mhm.
I don't disagree with that. Yeah, was necessary.
So, Drew McIntyre beat Cody Rhodes this week on Raw. A huge win for Drew McIntyre. Everybody's making a big deal out of it. Oh, my God, Cody lost on Raw. Can you believe Drew beat Cody? But he beat Cody after Jimmy Uso distracted the ref, and Solo Sikoa hit Cody with the Samoan Spike, and then Drew hit him with the Claymore. Like, yeah, he beat Cody, but he didn't really just beat Cody. There was trickery and skullduggery. Skullduggery, John.
Right, but Cody hasn't lost a match since last year's WrestleMania. So it's a big deal if he just loses at all.
It didn't feel like a big deal to me. People were trying to make it a big deal, but like Cody lost.
This also started Monday Night Raw as well, which I feel like that's what they need to start doing more. It's like, yes, have a main event, but also get your show started off hot with a good match that could be a main event. And I think
Dynamite
they did that.
Style.
Dynamite does that weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Raw, I don't know if they do that all the time, but this was a great way to start the show.
Mm-hmm. Who's winning the men's chamber? Drew McIntyre. He won the match with Cody. He is the only Raw superstar in this match. The winner gets a world heavyweight title shot against Seth Rollins, who is the Raw champion. You know? And everybody else is on SmackDown. Drew is doing this whole thing, CM Punk, and he injured him, and he's talking about it, and Seth was probably going to wrestle Punk at Mania, so I think Drew is the most likely pick to win this Elimination Chamber match. And I'm seeing people say Randy Orton might win, and Seth Rollins said he wanted to wrestle Randy, I think. Or Randy said he wanted to wrestle Seth. I don't know. I saw some quote. Vice versa, whatever. But I don't think it's going to be Randy. We've already seen Randy and Seth at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I don't think they go there again.
But I mean, if you look at all the options, it's all been done in a sense, right? With Seth, Seth's kind of done it all.
Yeah.
And he's even done it with Drew recently.
Mm-hmm.
So none of the options are really great. I mean, clearly this was supposed to be Punk winning the chamber, but Punk's not around, so they have to go to option B, which is Drew McIntyre. But I don't think that's going to mean it's going to be a bad match, though, in terms of what we get in the chamber, because there's still great talent involved in this.
How about this option? LA Knight.
That would be the best. I just don't believe WWE would do it, though. And I don't think you believe it either.
No, I don't. I think Drew is winning. If I were to predict and put money, I would predict the WWE is going with Drew because that seems to be the momentum of things right now on their TV. But LA Knight is a big star. People love LA Knight. And if he doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, he's going to get pinned or tapped in this match, which isn't great. And if he is facing Logan Paul for the U.S. title at WrestleMania, that's fine. But it's not as good as being the World Heavyweight Champion. Beating Seth Rollins at WrestleMania and becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. That, to me, is far better. And I would like to see LA Knight as the World Heavyweight Champion. I think right now SmackDown's a little crowded. And LA Knight was a guy who was looking at elevating to the main event picture, but because the main event picture is so crowded and Cody Rhodes from Raw is coming over to SmackDown and take over the SmackDown main event scene against Roman Reigns, right? Nobody's talking about how Cody's jumping over from Raw to SmackDown to do this. The SmackDown guys all have to take a step back because The Rock is there. Even Randy Orton has to take a step back. LA Knight has to take a step back. So instead of pulling LA Knight back when he's on fire right now, and now's the time to go with him. Why not just go with him in another direction? That's not in a mid-card, because LA Knight as U.S. champion really does nothing. It's nothing. It's useless. No one cares. LA Knight as the new Raw champion does something. It gets people talking. It makes Raw a far better show. It gets LA Knight onto Raw. It's just the move to make. And if they were really smart, that is the move they would make. Because they need a spark on Raw. And a lot of LA Knight is good. They need to give us more of this guy. And there's almost no room for him on SmackDown. So I want LA Knight to win this thing. I also think if Kevin Owens won, it would be real interesting. Him and Seth at Mania, and then him and Sammy and that dynamic and how that would work. I think Kevin Owens as the next world champion would be cool too. I'm always rooting for Kevin Owens to do things. I just really don't see that one happening. And I feel like more than Kevin Owens, I think it's LA Knight's moment at this time. So I really would love to see LA Knight win. I would go crazy for that. I'd be real happy. But I think it'll be Drew, which I think is very mid. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? You kidding me? Who wants to see that? Wouldn't you rather see LA Knight and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? Who wants to see Drew wrestle Seth again? LA Knight's never wrestled Seth. Like, doesn't that seem to be the move, John? You know what I mean? Like, it seems to be, if you look at the players, you go, well, who's the biggest star that would be cool for a main event, WrestleMania, big world title match? It's LA Knight. But for some reason, the WWE seems to think it's Drew McIntyre. Because what? They want to sign him to a new contract, so they're trying to suck up to him, let him think that they're going to do something with him? Drew McIntyre's not lighting the world on fire with his promos. LA Knight is.
Well, I think you're just looking at it in the sense of they're not seeing it that way. Like, you're looking for the best match. They're looking, what's the best match for Seth Rollins? Their champion. What works best for him? LA Knight, the people are going to be more behind him than Seth, so that doesn't work. But the whole story with Drew, it's already been put into place. It's already been started. They've already built the heat there. He'll make Seth a bigger hero at WrestleMania, win, lose, or draw. Because people are going to be more behind Seth if it's Drew, because they built that story up. So it's more about that. It's not about the best match they could do. It's about what's the best story they could do for Seth.
It's not great.
I'm
It's
not
not
saying it's
even
great. I'm just
that
telling
great
you.
for
Like,
Seth. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's not about LA Knight. It's about Seth Rollins. So Seth beats Drew, and then Damian Priest cashes in on him and takes the belt.
yeah, that's what I think, yeah.
Cool. It's not exciting, though, is it? You know? Like, it's like, all right, fine. Okay. It's not that exciting. So we're both predicting Drew McIntyre will win the men's elimination chamber. How about the women's elimination chamber? Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel returning this week to Raw to get a spot in that chamber. I think it's going to be Becky. I've been saying it for weeks. It seems obvious. They did that WrestleMania press conference event thing with The Rock and Cody, and then Rhea Ripley was there. And she cut a promo, and then Becky Lynch came out and faced off with her and cut a promo. And none of the other Elimination Chamber participants cut a promo on Rhea Ripley. So winner of this chamber gets a shot at Rhea Ripley and the women's world title. It seems like Becky Lynch is the obvious pick.
Well, like I said before, like I've said this for weeks, like it made more sense that it was flipped the other way around, that Becky won the Rumble, because it was more obvious, and that it set it up more that Rhea and Becky was happening. They even had the press conference set up to have them have a face-off. And I think Bayley struggling and then getting kicked out of the group, then going on to win the chamber would have been a better story for them. Instead of them, she won the Rumble, got kicked out, and now nothing happens at Elimination Chamber for them at all. I believe the Kabuki Warriors are wrestling, but it's nothing to do with Bayley. So, it's kind of just nothing. And that's kind of too bad, where you're put in this position now where they've been hyping Becky and Rhea for weeks and weeks and weeks. And now it's like, well, we're going to throw in a bunch of other people as well because they also have issues, or they'll make up some issues. And I told you this off air. This doesn't make a lot of sense. You have 5 baby faces, 1 heel. It doesn't mix very well whatsoever. It's not very good booking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Becky's going to win. I think it might be an okay match because, again, the talent involved is not bad. Just there's no heat there. Having too many baby faces, it doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I think it's an odd setting. It's an odd list for the match.
Oh, another thing, too.
Yeah, it's weird. Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair. Liv, Bianca, Becky, Naomi, and Raquel, all baby faces. Tiffany Stratton, lone heel in this match.
And they're building towards facing Rhea, who's a heel, who's being pushed as a face right now because she's also facing a heel. The booking of the women's division, at least on Raw, is atrocious. Terrible. I don't know who's doing this, but they're doing a bad job, really.
Yep. Everybody likes Rhea Ripley. She is a babyface. Even with the Judgment Day. Even when she's not in her home country of Australia. Even when she's not wrestling Nia Jax. She's a babyface. They haven't figured that out yet.
Well, no, they're going to give her moment and then expect everyone to be like, well, she's a horrible person because she's facing Becky. That's not going to work out too well.
Because we like Becky more?
Oh,
do we,
I don't
though?
think so.
At this point, do we anymore?
I think people like Becky, but I think Rhea is probably the most over right now on Raw. And I think she'll get cheered more than Becky will be.
That's what I'm saying. That'll be an awkward WrestleMania match.
See, it's okay to have an awkward women's match, but for the men's, no. Seth Franklin Rollins can't have an awkward match. He needs to clearly be a strong heel.
Why?
Because they got to protect him. And, Becky has to be in there, so regardless if it's strange or not, certain people get certain ways, and that's just the way it goes in wrestling.
Well, yeah. I get that. Seth is kind of one of their guys, and Rhea is one of their people, but so is Becky, so they have to please them both. And even if Rhea's kind of going babyface and Becky... Becky could be a heel in this feud. Becky could easily switch heel.
In the match, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it
whether
might.
she likes it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. Either way, we're picking Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre to win the Elimination Chamber matches, and my goodness, do I hope we're wrong. I really do.
In the women's, I can't see how we're wrong. Really, Liv is going to win?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I don't hope I'm wrong with the women. I think Becky and Rhea is the move. Although Bianca and Rhea would be pretty good, too.
I was just going to say that. You know what? That'd be all right. But, again, I don't think they're going to do that. Because they pushed it more that I think Tiffany is going to, mess with Bianca. And that could be her WrestleMania, sadly. Which is kind of awkward.
I could see it. Rhea Ripley defending her women's world title against Nia Jax in Perth, Australia. Rhea from Australia. She's going to win.
That might actually be the main event. We talked about the men's. I think actually Rhea might main event, yeah.
Zelina didn't main event in Puerto Rico, although Bad Bunny and Damian Priest did. So maybe Rhea main event.
Different star power.
But I feel like
star power.
You open the show with Women's Chamber, you close the show with Men's Chamber. Unless you open the show with Women's Chamber, and then you do a match, then you do a Men's Chamber, and then you finish with Rhea. It's only 5 matches on the card.
I'll throw it back to last year's Elimination Chamber. We ended with a championship match.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we'll do it again.
Okay. So what are you predicting? Women's Chamber, then the tag team title match, and then the Men's Chamber, and then Rhea versus Nia Jax. It's actually 4 matches on this card. 1 is the pre-show. There's another one.
Right.
Women's tag team titles on the line. Asuka and Kairi Sane defending against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
Which doesn't make sense, too. If I'm not mistaken, Shayna and Zoe Stark had a number one contenders match, won that match, and still never got a title shot. So that's kind of weird. They just kind of forgot about that. But
well, again, Indy's Australian, okay? Indy's Australian.
I was just going to say, they play favorites, so that's it.
They didn't put Bronson Reed in the chamber or on the show. He's Australian.
I guess he's not well liked, I guess, backstage. Something.
Right?
I don't know. Doesn't have the right people behind him, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. I can't believe they left him off that card. Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest defending the tag team titles against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
I mean, it'll be a match. I think it'll be fine. I'm not, excited about it, but it'll happen.
I feel like something's got to happen on this show. They might do a title change.
Wow, you think that we're going to see title? I mean, we get those odd, shockers, right? Every now and then on a show. So this might be the shock. I mean, if there is going to be a shocker, it'd be here, I think, right?
Yeah. Do Finn and Priest need to be defending the tag titles at WrestleMania?
I feel they're bigger stars, and you want to have your biggest stars in bigger matches. So I feel like they kind of should.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna do a multi-man tag team title match at Mania, and many teams in there, maybe 4,
right.
Maybe 6, even. And Finn and Priest might just be in that match. I might be wrong, but I feel like if we do get a title change, it'll be there. It's not gonna be Rhea. And I don't think it'll be Asuka and Kairi on the pre-show.
Well, remember, the pre-show starts at 4 a.m., so have fun getting up for that.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm recording it and watching it when I wake up at a regular hour. Yeah, I'm going to go with Asuka and Kairi to beat Io and... to beat Candice and Indy. Io will be with Asuka and Kairi in their corner. I'm gonna go with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate to be the new tag team champions. Finn and Priest have held it for so long, and it's it's enough already. R-Truth might cost them, something.
I like it. It's a good prediction. I'm gonna go against it just because we pretty much do all the same predictions pretty much all the time. So I'll go against it, and because I feel Finn and Priest should be the champions going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind the surprise, a change. It would be nice.
Well, we've got an AEW pay-per-view to preview next week, John, so I know our predictions are usually the same for WWE because WWE is just so damn predictable, but AEW is a little bit trickier to predict, so we might have some different ones next week.
Oh, we will, probably. More than likely. There's 14 matches. I mean, yes.
Yeah, right? I got Swerve.
Well, I'd like to see what the match is going to be, because is Hangman going to wrestle now or not?
I don't know.
Exactly. So wait.
I saw that Hangman broke his ankle, and then I also saw that it was a work. So I don't actually know.
But does it, I mean, work or not, is he wrestling? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because he still might not. That might be the thing that they have it. So he doesn't have the match. So they have the 3-way at the next kind of thing. They're doing the same thing with Edge. Edge is not going to be wrestling at Revolution. It's only going to be Daniel Garcia. So,
what's that about?
I think, again, they're just holding stuff up for Double or Nothing because Revolution is already a big show, and Sting's going to be the main event. So, I think they're saving a lot of bigger matches for Double or Nothing.
And that's the next AEW pay-per-view?
I believe that's end of May, usually, Double or Nothing.
Okay. Yeah. They haven't announced Double or Nothing 2024. May 28th was when they ran it last year. So, yeah, you're right. End of May. So that's the next one on the schedule. AEW's Double or Nothing. We think. Unless they're going to announce a pay-per-view to go on before that. Because May 29th... Right?
They did announce this week Forbidden Door will happen at Arthur Ashe this year.
In September?
I don't know if it's September or not, but they did say it will be at Arthur Ashe.
That's cool.
I mean, traditionally, Forbidden Door has always been in June, so maybe Arthur Ashe gets 2 shows this year.
Nice. I like it. Good for AEW. I like to see them doing big shows. I think that they could add a pay-per-view between Revolution in early March and Double or Nothing in late May. I think they could do another show between then. Something in April.
The main problem is the way their schedule works. It's the end of the year. It's like they come out with like 4 pay-per-views in like 6 months, like, or even less, actually, maybe 3 months. There's like too many pay-per-views at the end. You just get swarmed with pay-per-view week after week. I actually like the break we have now because it lets things kind of breathe a bit in terms of the stories.
Yeah. But, because when was the last one? World's End in December?
Last Saturday in December, yeah.
Feels like a long time ago.
A lot's happened since.
It's like 2 months between pay-per-views. 2 full months.
You look at the landscape of AEW, it's kind of really shifted since that pay-per-view.
It's completely different. But I think maybe take that break there at New Year's, kind of reset, recap, and then I think they could do another one in April. Or, yeah, I think April. Kind of early April.
The problem is they have a Ring of Honor pay-per-view April 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
Who cares?
Super Card of Honor. I'm just saying they have a show, so
it's not real. It's Ring of Honor.
It's not. Isn't that WrestleMania weekend too? They're doing like a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. That's interesting in Philadelphia.
What? That's ridiculous. Why would they do that?
Why wouldn't they? Everyone's going to be there, right? Makes sense, actually. It's the Friday. It's not the Saturday, Sunday. Oh, are you getting invaded again?
I'm getting
Looks
invaded.
like there might be a
early
little
shows.
invasion.
Come here. Come say hi to Johnny. Oh, he doesn't want to.
Oh, he's scared now. It's okay.
He didn't realize I was doing a show. He thought I was just in here hanging out, I think.
Oh, okay.
There's the big boy. Doug Hepburn says he's been a member for 22 months, and as a member, I demand a live watch-along show from you guys.
We used
for
to
the 5 a.m. show. Not for 5 a.m. He's talking about. He's messing with you, John. We're not doing that.
Oh, you know what? Well, I'm just saying I wouldn't mind, but it's not my call.
You wouldn't mind?
I actually wouldn't mind, yeah. I would do it.
Okay, let's do it.
You really want to do the 5 in the morning? I wouldn't mind.
I'm calling your bluff.
Bluffing. I'm not bluffing. I would do it. I'll be up at 5. I'll be up before 5, actually. I might even watch the pre-show. How about that?
I don't want to do it. We're not doing it.
I know you
I'm
don't
doing
want
a
to
post show.
It's okay.
It's ridiculous. It's too early. Too early, this show. Elimination Chamber in the freaking morning. Are you kidding me? Angelo doesn't think you would. I think you would, John. I believe John. I'm just scared now. I don't want to do it. I'm backing off. John knew I was going to back off. John knew I was going to back off from that. You knew I wasn't going to say, all right, let's do it then. That's what we're doing. You knew I was never going to agree to that.
You have a tough schedule. Your schedule is a little bit harder than mine, so it's hard for you to, you actually need a lot more sleep than I do, actually, which is crazy in a sense, but it's true.
I don't get any.
That's it.
I get none. I sleep like Vince McMahon, pal. But that's the only thing I do like Vince McMahon, thankfully. Okay, so AEW's Revolution coming up next week. We'll preview that as well. We will watch WWE's Elimination Chamber at some point tomorrow morning, and then be back here 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the WWE Elimination Chamber post-show, where it should be the Simon Brothers in action, taking you through the afternoon on a Saturday, talking professional wrestling. Johnny, speaking of AEW's Revolution, I did watch Dynamite a couple days ago, and it was an interesting show. FTR versus Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley going to a time limit draw. Solid opening match. Obviously, they're not done. Something brewing there with FTR and the Blackpool Combat Club. Can't argue with that. Solid match.
they said after the match, like, they're not doing anything for Revolution, FTR, and they challenged them to a match. So I expect that's what's probably going to happen. I don't know if they're going to add a stip or not, but yeah, it's unfinished business. Makes sense. I'm hoping FTR wins that match because they should win that match. They need to climb up the tag rankings, and that would help them tremendously by winning that match.
Yeah. I don't think they've added it officially, but it would make sense, and it would make sense with a stipulation, too. I mean, if you go to a time limit draw, you got to do the rematch with no time limit, no something, you know?
Something, whatever, to make sure you avoid that again.
Mm-hmm. So that was the opener on Dynamite. Then you had Orange Cassidy beating Mike Bennett. Matt Taven and Roderick Strong attacked Orange after the match, and then Jake Hager saved Orange for some reason and took out Taven and Bennett, and Strong left. Why did that happen?
Well, they kind of put over the fact that Orange, before the match, had lost all his friends, right? Renee did that whole thing, explain the timeline. All Orange friends got taken out, so he needed a new friend, and I guess he has a new friend because Jake Hager's not really been doing anything. He's kind of been lost in the shuffle, so now he's got a new group to be with. That's kind of what's going on, I think.
Was he just there because they were in Oklahoma, or is he actually on the roster now again, Jake Hager? Because it seems like he's maybe not on the roster.
I think he's been around. I mean, he's got a contract. He's always been doing something, but he's been involved with pretty much Menard and Parker. Like just random six-mans or be in their corner kind of thing. Not really having much direction. Ever since they kind of really broke away from Jericho, he's kind of just been floating around, being with them, not doing much of anything. So I don't think they had any ideas for him. And they had an idea. You know, he was there conveniently. So I think it's just something they're going to start and see what happens kind of thing.
Orange's buddy.
Plus, he's
Hager.
He's probably going to be in that Meat Madness they were talking about. He's probably one of the guys in that match. I try not to say this and make you like choking on your whatever you're eating right now, but that's
Fuzzy
probably
peaches.
what's going to happen. Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You might spit a little bit, but that's it.
Meat Madness, pal. Oh, my God. They've announced some sort of match called Meat Madness. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's many guys that are big in the match. Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs have already been announced. I don't know how many men will be in the match. I don't know what the rules are, other than you have to be big and jacked.
Probably like a weight limit or something, yeah, I'm guessing.
Because this all comes from the Big E statement, big meaty men slapping meat, which is what he likes to see in the ring. He doesn't like technical wrestling. He likes big meaty men slapping meat. And for some reason, AEW has named a match after a phrase uttered by a WWE wrestler.
Well, also remember the match. It was Miro's match at All Out. Remember in Chicago?
Yeah, but that all comes from Big E.
Well,
people are saying meat because of Big E.
But it carried over into AEW. So, and let's face it, Big E has kind of been like doing nothing. So if you're not using it, like it's free game in a sense.
That's rude. How dare you?
Well, let's face it. Like, is he ever? He did commentating for that press conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time you've seen him in years.
I believe he'll be back one day.
Wrestling.
I believe. Yeah. One day.
I have to say, like, they aren't putting him over very well. I don't know if you've seen those, like, 2K24 rankings. Like, he's ranked, like, 78. Like, he's really low. Like, that's a former WWE champion. Like, wow. The WWE doesn't look highly on him, in my opinion.
They got to not show the rankings of the wrestlers from the video game when they're about to wrestle. Because it's like, this guy's an 88 and this guy's an 84. And then the 88 beats the 84. And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess I checked that.
But it worked for the main event of Raw because you had Jey Uso at a 90 and Gunther at a 90. So you're like, oh, who's going to win this one?
But
by the way, Jey Uso at a 90. Video game.
Why is Jey Uso at 90? What's Jimmy Uso?
I think he's 88 or something like that.
That's
he's pretty
ridiculous.
High up too. Well, it's more ridiculous if you look at the New Day's rankings. Like, I think Xavier is also like a 78 and Kofi's like an 80. Like, what happened to the New Day? Like, they're just like,
you know what happened,
lower than mid card.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, it's sad what's happened with the New Day because they were the best, and now they're just not. It's not happening. Nothing's going anywhere. Ever since Big E went down, I mean, it's not been the same. Wardlow cut a promo this week. Angelo wanted to know what we thought about it. I thought it was weird. Wardlow cuts a promo in the ring. Again, some WWE stuff in here. He says, a year ago, everyone is chanting his name, but now the rocket to his back must have been hooked upside down because he's been going down ever since, and nothing's working for him, and he's mad. And he's the only homegrown superstar from AEW, and he should have been champion a long time ago. And he's complaining that nothing's going his way. And it's like, weren't you hurt for like a good while? That probably slowed your progress too, Wardlow. Take it easy. Also, your lack of, real good promo ability. You're not that entertaining. Your matches are, whatever. Wardlow says that people backstage should be fired and put in jail for the fact that he hasn't been champion yet. And he says that, yeah, he said that. And he said,
people
in jail. He said they should be put in jail. It's like, well, who should be put in jail? Wardlow says that the best in the world and the real world champion, he beat that guy, which...
He actually didn't beat that guy, but whatever.
Didn't he?
No, he beat him down, but in the end, Punk won that match, actually. But he beat him like he was all beaten up and all that. But Punk still won the match.
Well, Wardlow said he beat him, and he called him best in the world and the real world champion, even though he works for WWE now, which was an odd move. Wardlow says that Punk's body is still falling apart because of him. So he made a crack about Punk being currently injured as well. A lot of WWE talk in Wardlow's promo. He talked about squashing your favorite, the Better Than You guy, too, and you know it, MJF. He didn't say MJF's name. He didn't say CM Punk's name. He just alluded to them, which I thought was odd that MJF got the same treatment as Punk. Makes you wonder where he's at. Huh?
No, I think it plays into it well, where they're like, "Oh, is MJF going to come back?" Because they don't say his name, so
yeah,
makes you wonder.
I think it's make you wonder.
It works. No,
what are you leaning towards?
I like the idea of that. I mean, maybe he'll come back, maybe he won't. That's kind of nice. I like that.
It's not an answer. Again, I ask you like A or B, and you go A's good, B's good, maybe. I don't know. A and B are nice.
I thought you just meant in terms of how they're telling the story. I didn't know you actually were asking me the question.
What do you think is going to happen? I am at a loss. I really don't know. I'm leaning towards he's not coming back to AEW, but I'm honestly not sure.
Really? Oh, okay. I think he's going to come back, but I think they're just playing into the fact that they don't want to make it too obvious that he's coming back because they took him off the roster, right? He's not on the roster page at all, and they don't mention his name, so it's like, oh, maybe he won't come back, but I think he will. I think it's just all part of their plan.
Okay. I hope you're right. Wardlow says he beat Samoa Joe too. Wardlow says this is not wrestling anymore. This is war. And, where was Adam Cole? I guess they gave up on that. I thought it was an odd promo. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. But I was just kind of watching it. And I was like, this is puzzling. What is happening here with Wardlow? Why is he saying these things? Why is he allowed to say these things on TV? It felt like Tony Khan was like, oh, I understand you're upset, Wardlow. Why don't you go out and tell us about it? Cut a promo. And then he did. And it was like, oh, okay. You're mad that you're not champion. A lot of guys in the company are probably mad they're not champion. I mean, it was odd. It didn't strike me as anything major, though. I don't think much will come of it. Because that's what happens in AEW, right? Things happen, and then you go, oh, are they going to follow up on that? And a couple months later on Collision they do, but by that point, who cares?
Well, one, I enjoyed this more than the Daniel Garcia promo they had. Because they had two kind of promos like this, right?
Yeah.
Where Shivani introduces a guy, comes out. I thought Wardlow's promo was far more entertaining than Daniel Garcia's was, and I was actually more interested in what Wardlow was doing with his direction. The main point is the fact that he's going after Samoa Joe. Like, it's going to happen. Like, maybe not next pay-per-view, obviously Revolution, but we could see him possibly at Double or Nothing get the shot. And I think that was the main point. And he puts over the fact that this is what he's accomplished. This is his resume. This is the people he's dealt with. And he's gone through a lot of crap, in his opinion. So I thought, to me, like, in terms of promos that he's cut in the past, is probably the best promo he's ever cut. So I thought, that was good. And I'm interested to see where this is going to go. He still wore the undisputed tank top. So it's not like he's broken away from that group. It's just that he's on this mission by himself, which I think is fine. Like, he doesn't need Adam Cole with him all the time. Adam Cole can't do much of anything, so this is fine. He even mentioned the fact he beat Joe before. He choked him out.
Yeah.
So I think he's helping building that story for that championship match.
Yeah, that's not really a match I want to see. I want to see Swerve win the title, man. Swerve!
Yeah, I can see Swerve win the title, just not Revolution. Like, he's going to probably not the first shot, but maybe the second or third shot.
Yeah. You're probably right, because this is Joe's first defense, really, right?
I mean, it's AEW. I mean, you really never know. Like, it's very hard to predict with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Doug Hepburn telling me tomorrow the Yankees are playing the Tigers, apparently. Spring training. I don't know if I have it on TV anywhere. Would be nice, but I don't think I have a game feed for that.
It's only spring training, though.
Yeah, but I want to see spring training. I want to see everything. I want to see Yankees baseball. There's nothing I want to see more than Yankees baseball. So, I'm excited about that. Excited about the Yankees. Go Yankees. Love baseball season. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game. He says he's disappointed because he thought he'd be more involved in AEW. He says he's not mad at Sting for not bringing him along enough, but he's just exploring his options. And he goes to the Young Bucks locker room and wants to talk. The Nature Boy. I like it. I want to see Flair turn on the Stinger, Flair against the Stinger in Sting's last match. I want to see Sting hit Flair one last time in his last match. And then I want to see Flair go on as a heel manager for the Young Bucks because I think that would be hilarious. So, yeah, I like that little piece of business that they did. It was short, but it got to the point, and it leads to a lot of different stories. Flair could pretend he's with the Bucks and turn on them and join Sting at the end, or he could actually join the Bucks and go against Sting. A lot of options.
My original idea was that they'd have Flair turn on Sting and then join back with Sting all in the same match. But if they do the whole, like, he turns on him before the match and then joins back with him during the match, that could work too. However they play into it, but I know a lot of people want to see Flair at least tease that he's going to turn on Sting, because I think a lot of people want to see that happen. So I think we're going to get it in some variety, it looks like.
I think it's a good move for the end of Sting. Sting versus Flair was the move, not Sting with Flair. So I like it. Daniel Garcia was interviewed in the ring about his TNT title shot against Christian at Revolution, and he thanks the fans and all of this. And then Christian and the Christian family come out, and Christian doesn't think Garcia is ready for him at Revolution, and he doesn't think that they should wrestle because he's just not ready. The kid is not ready. And then Christian talks about Garcia, and he says he understands he has a father, and of course his father is, say it with me, John, dead.
It was a little faster, sorry. But yeah, that's I mean, Christian was fine. It's hard to get behind Garcia though, because he had the fans saying you deserve it. He's like, oh, I really appreciate that. He didn't actually beat Edge, so
No,
he didn't actually earn a shot.
no,
You know, it's just
Christian.
like
It was a disqualification win, right?
no contest, actually. Officially ruled no contest.
See, I think it was a disqualification. I
Well,
feel
I
like
remember
they attacked
the announcer
Garcia
said-
first and caused a disqualification so Edge wouldn't get a title shot.
Okay. But the announcer said no contest repeatedly.
So why is Garcia getting the title shot and not Edge?
Default. Edge is in, because they said it too. Shivani said it. Because Edge is hurt, Garcia's getting the shot.
Oh, okay, because of the concerto.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
still, it's like,
Well, whatever. I can't get behind Garcia either for this match. This match is not one I care about at all. Garcia Christian for the pay for the title. Who cares? And then Luchasaurus went to attack Garcia, but Daddy Magic showed up to back him up, and he's got a chair. So Daddy Magic is doing his own thing, Jake Hager's doing his own thing, and Angelo Parker is dating Ruby Soho for some reason, and that's a couple in AEW. I don't know why. Why is that a thing on TV?
it's been happening on Rampage.
The
We
love
haven't been
story.
paying attention to it.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, it's happening. Remember, Saraya was trying to make it not happen for so long, and now it's finally happening. So, I mean, it's been a while. You don't usually see these, like, couple love angles. Like, it's very rare now in wrestling, and I feel WWE will definitely probably try to stay away from that,
Yeah.
given all the allegations against the company.
Yeah, probably smart. And this Ruby Soho Angelo Parker thing, like I don't know where it's going. I don't really care. It's something that's happening in the background of AEW, and it is what it is. Tony Storm beat somebody with an ankle lock submission, and then Deonna Purrazzo beat Madison Rayne with the same ankle lock submission.
Just for correction, clarification, Tony Storm used Deonna's finisher, actually.
Did she?
Remember, she had the ankle lock. She let go of the ankle lock.
Oh, right,
and then
right.
Put on Deonna's finisher.
Okay, and then Deonna did Tony's ankle lock finisher to win.
Exactly. That's how it played in. And I don't know about you. I love the fact that they're doing the whole like black and white split screen kind of thing. I thought that was done beautifully when they were on the ramp. I don't know if you caught that or not.
Yeah, it was well done. I didn't love this whole segment of time on AEW Dynamite though, because it was like, okay, here's Tony Storm, she's gonna beat a jobber, and then here comes Deonna Purrazzo against Madison Rayne, she's gonna beat her. It was just like a big chunk of time where you're like, let's make Tony Storm and Deonna Purrazzo look strong by winning matches, but they're already strong, and the matches that they won didn't make them look any stronger, and they took a little too long to finish. So,
I thought Tony went through her match very quick. I mean,
I don't think it was quick enough.
she dragged it out though. I mean, she had it finished. She kept not ending the match.
Yeah.
So that's kind of dragged it a little bit.
Unnecessary. Like, I was ready to go.
But did you see Madison almost die on that
DDT?
Looked like a flatliner. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it was supposed to be a DDT.
What
But
happened?
it ended up being one. I guess there was some confusion or something, or the way she took the bump. Like,
yeah.
But throughout the whole match, Madison looked like she was in slow-mo. I don't know if you caught that or not.
I haven't seen her wrestle in full speed recently, so I don't know.
Maybe Deanna was just too fast for her, and like she was just not at the same pace that Deanna was doing, and clearly there was miscommunication on that one. But she was able to take the finish at least, which I guess is good. And you imagine she's not that hurt, but
yeah, you could tell though.
It's scary.
Like as soon as it happened, I mean, you saw it, and she planted right on her head, and then commentary was like, oh, and then the ref checked her right away, and the doctor checked her right away. Like everybody saw that and was like, ooh, that was bad. It was obviously really bad, but sometimes things look worse than they are, and she seemed okay. Toni Storm hit the ring after the match, attacked Deanna after Mariah May distracted her. Toni was able to lock in her ankle lock on Deanna Purrazzo. I really liked the Darby Allin and Sting promo. Their pre-tape promo that they did, where Darby was talking about Sting with his sons and how, those are the guys that the Young Bucks attacked a couple weeks ago. Those kids that are about the same age as the Bucks kids. In that picture there that Darby was showing with Sting and his young kid. Well, his kids when they were young. They're adults now. The Young Bucks didn't attack children. They attack grown men that are Sting's sons. Sting talked about his father dying last week and how it made him think about time catching up to us all. And it was like a really emotional, pointed promo from Sting. He says no one has messed with his family in pro wrestling before, and the Bucks are going to have the fight of their lives on their hands. Like, it was a really good promo from Sting. And, it was one of the best promos that he's done in AEW, maybe in his whole career. It was great stuff. It was my favorite part of Dynamite this week. That promo.
I think almost weekly, like Sting, Darby, whatever they're doing has been the highlight of Dynamite. Like this whole Sting run, I think it's been just the highlight of the whole show. Like it's been really well done. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened with his father passing, but he really took that negative and turned it into a major positive. Because like you said, I don't know the best promo he's ever done, but that kind of promo I've never seen Sting do. Like, that was incredible. That kind of emotion. That's why I say, like, it's a different kind of vibe you get going into Revolution. And just this week alone, it's changed the emotion of the match. It's not about, it's Sting's last match. Now it's gotten a little bit more personal. And now the emotions are a lot higher going into this. It's not just about the tag team title. It's not just about Sting, his last match. And now it's personal. Now there's a lot more on the line. And now Flair's involved in some capacity, but we don't know what. A lot is involved in this match now. That's a lot more intriguing.
They've done a really good job building it. We're a week away from it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see Sting's last match. Sting and Darby Allin against the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team titles. Where does Ric Flair's allegiance lie? Sting's final match. Tag titles on the line. I mean, it's big. Young Bucks' first big match with this new gimmick that they're running too. There's a lot going on here. A lot. They've done well to set this up. They've also done well to set up Hangman, Swerve, and Samoa Joe. That match seems to be in peril right now. No one's really clear whether Hangman hurt himself or not. It seemed like he maybe hurt his ankle, but possibly it's some sort of story that they're running. It's not clear right now, and I think we'll find out more on Dynamite coming up on Wednesday. It'll be the final Dynamite before Revolution. Hangman had that injury or potential injury in a match. That was the main event of Dynamite this week. Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Brian Cage got the win over Rob Van Dam, Hangman Page, and Hook when Joe choked out Rob Van Dam for the win. I like seeing RVD more and more in AEW. I thought that was great.
No, I thought RVD was a great highlight on the show. The fans are definitely extremely behind RVD, and I think RVD with Hook is a great use of RVD because it allows him, in a sense, to help an up-and-coming wrestler and allows the fans to take in RVD. It's kind of almost like, well, we're losing Sting, but we're getting this other team instead now of Hook and RVD. So I think that's a fantastic use of him. I would like to see him win more matches now, though, because RVD's great, but RVD's even better when you believe he might win matches. I feel like he starts losing too much. It's hard to get behind RVD.
He doesn't really win much in AEW.
He's won very few, but that's why he should stay with Hook, where I feel Hook has that rocket strapped to his back a lot. So I think pushing this Hook RVD team, plus that will help RVD, I think. RVD probably better where he's in moments, where he's in and out. I think single matches, it might be tougher for him now that he's older. But a tag, I think, as we've seen with other wrestlers, I think it's more workable for what they do now.
Yep. I think him and Hook are a fun little tag team. I like seeing them together, and then Hangman was just added to that team. Joe Swerve and Brian Cage. Swerve with Brian Cage doesn't seem to make a lot of sense anymore.
Well, it's a part of the whole Mogul Embassy thing, right?
Yeah, but
that's why.
It doesn't seem to fit. He doesn't fit in with those guys.
No, he doesn't. But it's just the way things had to work out because, remember, Swerve had a different group before, and then they're gone. So then Swerve had to need another group. Fortunately, through all this, like, weird booking, Swerve was able to get over because, talent rising to the crop, cream rising to the crop kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll eventually get it right.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Swerve. So I think Cage just, it happenstance, like, well, he's with the guy that's super over and he's taking advantage of the opportunities because he got to be in the main event of Dynamite here. Not a bad opportunity. And to me, Brian Cage looked actually very good this match. Brian Cage helped a lot of the guys, especially Hangman, look fantastic. When Hangman hit that huge Hurricane Rana on him, that was one of the best moments of the match. Brian Cage is a great base for a lot of stuff that happens in the ring.
Yeah.
And I don't mind him around, actually.
Like, I'm not saying he's bad or not useful. I just think him and Swerve don't have a lot of chemistry.
It's just, the way it works right now. But
he's just
Swerve
a goon.
Eventually will break away.
He doesn't have any kind of relationship with Brian Cage. You don't see them talking to each other backstage about anything, ever. Are they friends? Or do they just know each other through Prince Nana? Is Nana just orchestrating all this? Or is it a Swerve?
Well, it's very much like the Don Callis family. Like, it just feels like a random bunch of people put together just because Don likes them, Prince has the same thing. Nana has the same thing. Like, I just have a bunch of people that, this guy works, I like this, so they're going to be in my group. It feels like both factions are the exact same thing.
Kind of like the Heenan family type of deal where the wrestlers don't have to be friends necessarily. It's just they're all managed by the same guy, so they're all kind of part of the same team.
I feel like with the Heenan family, for the most part, and then it got a little ridiculous, like, at least it felt like there was unity in the group. Like, it felt like at least a lot of them got along or something, or there was some common bond. Then it got too big, and then it just fell apart.
AEW's Revolution going down next week. Will Ospreay will be on that pay-per-view, and he's going to be on Dynamite coming up on Wednesday. And then I guess we'll find out more about Meat Madness and what that means. And other things happening in AEW world. Coming up Wednesday night and then next
tomorrow.
week. Yep. Oh, Collision tomorrow. Rampage tonight, I guess, too, right?
That's it.
And I think there's a taped SmackDown going on right now, but it's taped from last week, so no big deal. We got to get up early for Elimination Chamber tomorrow. Nothing major is going to happen on SmackDown tonight. Everything's set up for the Chamber. And that's when we will see you again. Tomorrow afternoon, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, watch the chamber, wake up, have a little coffee, have a little breakfast, maybe even some early lunch, and then join us at 12:30 to talk WWE's Elimination Chamber here on the Ringside Report Network. What?
We got one thing we got to talk about still, remember? We have to talk about the whole Michael Chandler incident that happened on Raw.
Do we have to talk about that? Why is he calling out Conor McGregor on Raw? Are they going to fight at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Well, they were hyping, when this happened on Raw, they were hyping up the whole TKO merger, like the fact that...
Yeah, because they were in Anaheim, because the UFC was in Anaheim on Saturday, and then WWE was in the same building Monday for Raw.
Right. And Michael mentioned this, and they said this, and then boom, right away, we got Samantha Irvin giving the microphone to Michael Chandler, who just happens to be front row, conveniently.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Michael Chandler, the most entertaining UFC fighter in the world. And I'm like, you're not the most entertaining UFC fighter. You kidding me? I wouldn't even put you top 10. Anyways, he's like, Conor McGregor, come on to the octagon. Da, da, da. And it's like, all right, well, you're just waiting, aren't you there, Michael Chandler? You going to do it in the WrestleMania ring or what? It was just weird and awkward. This is what happens when MMA guys try to do pro wrestling. Take notes. A lot of MMA guys think, I can do pro wrestling. It's just like fighting, but it's fake. Way easier, right? No, it's a different thing. Look at Michael Chandler do that. That didn't work. Awkward. Cringy.
I just found it funny that like Mike Cole and Pat McAfee started talking, and Chandler was still talking. And they're like, oh, is he still going here? They kind of were mocking him a little bit.
Yeah, they wanted it to stop because they knew it wasn't going well. Right?
And McAfee was like, "Oh, he took his shirt off." And he took like pointed to the like he said, he pointed to them like he took his shirt off over there, like trying to get the camera's attention. They never went to it whatsoever.
Wow.
Yeah.
They just said, "All right, that's enough." Maybe he went off script, and they said, "Okay, that's it."
I don't know if there was much of a script though. I'm thinking it's like, oh, he's just going to say a little thing and that's it, and. I think, he took some liberties, from what it seems like. And some people weren't happy about it.
Yeah, it was awkward. It was real awkward. Don't try to do the pro wrestling thing if you're not a pro wrestler.
You would never see, like, GSP or anyone like that in UFC history, like, do that.
I want to see WWE wrestlers promoting wrestling matches at the UFC now.
Well, you see them there.
No, but I want to see them on the mic in front of the crowd, talking to the crowd, saying, "Let me tell you something, brother, WrestleMania, da-da-da," you know?
Ooh, select venues, I think. I don't know about all venues. Not Vegas.
LA Knight on the mic. What everybody's saying. Tremendous. All right, Johnny. We've done it. I'll be back tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the WWE Elimination Chamber post-show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Big shout-out to all the members. A lot of members tonight who have joined over at join.ringsidereport.net. Angelo Contagonis, Ryan Katz, Jimmy James, Doug Hepburn, Matthew Henley. So many members. CSL, RC, Lauren. So many members over at join.ringsidereport.net. We appreciate you. We thank you for joining. We thank you for supporting. We thank you for watching. And we will be back here tomorrow afternoon for the Elimination Chamber post show here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a